Hey everyone, History Mystery Man here, coming to you today with a really special treat. I'm going to show you some old film footage from back in the day at Salem Speedway. I'm talking early to mid 1950s. Now the film is rough. It was shot on an old first generation Keystone camera on cheap Fuji film that kept breaking, but it's all there. Rough, but it's there and it's absolutely fascinating. So is the gentleman who shot every inch of the video footage you're about to watch. Jack Bills from Salem, Indiana. We're talking about a World War II veteran, skilled airplane pilot who survived 5 plane crashes over the course of his career back when flying wasn't all that safe. He was a push truck and tow truck driver back in the day at Salem, and of course back then the sprint cars were often towed to get their fire. But he shot all of this film, and I just can't wait to show it to you. Now, I'm talking film of Bob Sweikert on the day he died, right before he climbed in that #1 car and tumbled over the turn 1 wall to his death. Film footage of 1952 Indy 500 winner Troy Ruttman. Some early driver introductions from back in the day. This stuff is so cool, and here's the thing. Nobody has really seen this film. It's been laying there for pushing 70 years now. The voice you hear in the background in narration is actually Jack, who's actually still alive today. He's 95 years young, lives in Florida, still drives, but outside of his close family and friends, no one has ever seen this footage. It's so cool. Enjoy Salem Speedway from the 1950s. Let's go for a ride.
That's Sweikert's wife right there, I think. Yeah. That's Bill Fritz, the announcer in the center. Packard there.
Sprint car. A lot of his old film, I've spliced in things and different things right at the same film. It was back when Hoyt and Hoyt was driving for Sweikert. And I think this may be the day that Sweikert met his fate here at Salem. Also here was Pat O'Connor was here today, and I got a picture of him. He loses it in the first curve, hits the guardrail up on the rail, up on the top of the track, and goes right up on his nose. But he didn't go on over. He was mighty lucky. Racing on the banks at Salem. That's that pink car up front. That's O'Connor. I think very shortly he'll see him. He comes in and loses it on the first curve to pass the straightaway and comes right up on his nose, but he didn't go all the way over. Well, that wouldn't happen once in a blue moon, boy. You'd lose her. He really tears a piece of guardrail out, though. Very shortly, I think it happens. Must be, I think, probably the next, well, I don't know. There's the old boy from AAA. There's 5. That's Don Freeland in the 8. There's Hoyt in the 7. Sweikert evidently, and there's O'Connor in the #1. And there's Dwayne Carter driving 25. And there's that Andy Linden in the Viola 7. There's Curly Brooks out of Indianapolis. No, and there's Eddie Sachs. The old 21, Gene Force and the McNamara Alfie. And that was Don Branson in the #4. And back in those days, all the 3 officials always rode in the pace lap and the convertible. They always had a CAD convertible, and they'd start the race and pace the race in that. This may be I don't know. I forget that. I've got both of the wrecks here, but Sweikert went over and also when O'Connor. Yeah, this is O'Connor's. That's him. He hit the road, went up, and come back, and he didn't. He didn't go. He was mighty lucky. And you'll see him walking back. He's walking back a little bit. Pitt's pretty disgusted. There he is, and always that's Jim Wood. That his buddy had always buddied around with him from up north, Vernon. And I think very shortly in here is when Sweikert got it. He really tears up the fence. Well, I don't think he hit the fence, so he cleared the fence. And it sure totaled it. Here it goes. There he is. That's the end of Bob Sweikert right there. Salem, Indiana Speedway. He's still in the car. They're trying to get him. See the guy in the orange shirt? That's Ray Gross. Then that's Bruce Jacoby there in the white. They all trying to. They finally turned the car back over to get him out, and they'll start carrying him out now. They'd had one of them old Cromwell crash helmets on. They'd split the helmet. You'll see it. See how they holding the helmet on his head, so but it's tore the helmet to it. It give him. Oh, I think I don't know whether he's still living here or not, but he didn't make it very much longer. But see how that helmet's tore up? That car is really sad shape. That's a wreck like he looked when they went over the bank at Salem. Racing at the Greater Salem Speedway, Salem, Indiana. The good old days of racing in the 50s. If you notice on all these pictures I've got, oh boy, about lost it there. Look out over on the back straightaway at Salem, you'll see so many cars parked over there. That was before the days of the golf course, and so many people would come over there and watch a race for nothing. But so many races, you look back there and you'll see sometimes 200-300 cars. They climb up in the trees. There was trees all the way around the track back, and not all the way around, but on the front side. I mean, the front straightaway wasn't, but all up down where the airport was. So these are the days before the airport even. The racing days at Salem, Indiana. See the pits now? They had stalls all the way up and down through there, made out of wood. I know a lot of them didn't pay, but back those days, a ticket wasn't over $2 or $3 though, so a little different what it is today. There the guy hit the fence. There he's coming in. Now another guy smacked the fence. There, July the 15th, but what year is a good question. I imagine it's 52, 53 along in there, maybe 54. There's the Aggie Union. There's old buddy Stinky Fixton, Laverne Fixton from Salem, Indiana. He's not with us anymore. There's the number one. That was Dwayne Carter. Was driving before we called it 99 Junior. They finally put 99 Junior on it. And the Ruttman's in the 98. And Carter drove that 99 Junior. I forget where I was, out of Indianapolis or where. Action at Salem Speedway. In the 50s style. See all the cars there in the golf course. Guy lost it. Boy, he rolled it too. And people runs over every time I had an accident. Everybody would run over to help get him out to see what happens, but I don't think it got him hurt too bad. Okay, September the 16th. It's probably about 53. If that looks like that Ford sitting there, so I don't know. Here's the way the crowds were. Look at this is the road in, going back into Salem. Right up on the left there is Silgas, and the cars was parked all the way over that hill past Silgas. Now, I mean, that was a big crowd. That's one of the biggest crowds that guy spun they had, I think. I think the old boy that owned one of the car there, Ruttman, getting ready for getting in his car. Look how tall he is. Now, his head sticks over the top of the windshield, and they've got an extension on his cowling there. Look at that, even for him. I see the extension put on, so get a little window. Ed Brannaman got to get the autograph from Carter. That's Gordon Reed. I think that was a little bit later when he met his fate over at Okay, we're back racing again. My film broke. Every time a film breaks on these old projectors, you've got a major operation to get started again. Film's 50 years old. You gotta have a lot of breaks. But I guess that's part of life. And there's said Jordan Reed in the 73. That was before Nazareth drove. That was the early McNamara Offie. Gordon Reed was very prominent back in the early days. There's Ruttman in the 98, leading the race, I think. There's Nazareth. I think something happened. I think he only blew a tar. It looked like he blew a tar, right rear tar, and he come in. There's a lineup for the pits on a race. That's another race. There's Leroy coming in, the stretch midget. Leroy Warner. There's the old pits out there, wooden pits out right in front of the grandstand. There was Doc Bowles' Offie. I forget who was driving that out of Cincinnati. '36. I don't remember him. That red. What is a red Emick, I believe, out of Dayton. I mean, out of Columbus, Ohio. That's Ruttman. And there's Bob Bearing out of Indianapolis. There's Joe James in the old 12. That's the one. That wasn't the one he finally got killed in out in California, but that was one he drove all through the Midwest. And there's 4 again, Nazareth. There's Dwayne in the number 1, Dwayne Carter. There was Chick Smith in the old Hallie Blankenbaker car. I think that's the only time Hallie ever, Bud Blankenbaker's father, ever run at Salem in that car.
Big car race. See what they called it then? Big car. That was the outlaw. Look at that one. That's a rear drive. See, he was before. Some of them, that don't look. There's Hector Honore and Bobby Graham. Hector Honore, that was the Black Deuce. That's Bobby Graham, all right. Always drive over with a cigarette in her mouth. And Don Branson. That's Wilson's car. That's my tow truck right there. I loved you got a picture of it. There's Beards. See, Beards and me with, there's a Hisso there. That's out of Fort Wayne. That's the Deli Hisso. That was a Hispano engine. First four air cooled. That's Doc Bowles' own. Look at that. That's quite a slide, you know. He kept her from hitting the wall, though. And I think he broke his back in this deal. I do believe. I think he was laid up. That's Hector out of Pena, Illinois. Going back into pits. I believe that guy was Ed Carpenter. That's Graham. See what they drove in his T-shirt. See, I'm up on the outside of the first curve right there. See all the trees out there in the back stretch?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the corner of that stand right there. I wasn't in it then. See, right underneath the south end of the plot, that's where we'd park our tow trucks. That's where I was parked when Matson went on. Marble. That one guy's really smoking. See the stand there? Sticking out. I don't think, well, Bueller wasn't there that day. There's one in this race was painted pink. It's hard, they can't hardly tell. Well, I remember. I think his race. There he goes. That's quite a close deal there. That was Diz Wilson's, one of his Rangers. He had Marvin Pfeiffer, I'll never forget him. He was out of Michigan. He was very prominent in the outlaw race. And I don't know how I come to remember him, but as Carpenter, I remember him. He wasn't too slim. He's a little heavy side. I don't know. I believe that was Jim Packard. That guy, he's out of Indianapolis. There comes him. That's the top dog back in. That's Bobby Graham. He lived in Coal City. yeah, I know who that is. That's Speedy Helms out of Indianapolis.
What's neat is this stuff's in color.
Yeah, right away. I didn't take till later years much color. Boy, it didn't have any. See, back in the 40s, they didn't have color.